is April 1st, 2026. You know, yesterday in Summit Mall, somebody had mentioned the guy doing this is trying to prove that the U.S. government and its people are the U.S. government is so dumb they'll fall for anything. Well, I heard that before, that the guy doing it is trying to prove the U.S. government is so dumb and its people it'll fall for anything. Part of the people in the case was the king from Texas. Big Muslim men showed up. For we all work for the king from Texas. We are his men. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. You look him up. He is U.S. military Iraqi translator. Went into the dark web malware fentanyl king. He's a hacker. Dave hired him. For we all work for the king from Texas. We are his men. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. And they showed up. When I was in the mall yesterday in Macy's, there was a lady that was Muslim behind me talking in a different language. Well, my phone's bugged. I get outside and some guy's laughing. He said she was an informant, and boy, what was that lady saying? That they are afraid ICE is going to show up here. And they all know they shoot people, and for the people that are involved in this, and was telling them to stay away. You know, FBI, it's sad when the terrorists are afraid of ICE, and they're not afraid of you. And they think your agency's dumb. Well, they already called Agent John a fool June 7th, 23, and August 5th, 25, a coward. And they were setting him up to be arrested the whole time. See, these people, they're acting really dumb. And they're acting Twilight Zone people, like they don't know any law. Yesterday, in the mall, and Officer Mark, Officer John, you need to get a handle on this up there. Those security guards up there are extremely stupid people. They had mentioned a doctor and attorney scam up there. Okay. The law of HIPAA. No doctor can be with attorney saying anything bad about anybody. It is a federal crime of HIPAA of 10 years. What are those security guards to do? Call the police. Or the police to do? Arrest them and call the FBI. There's an attorney and a doctor running a fraud scheme on somebody. They're breaking a federal law of HIPAA and think they can fool us. Because then they say, oh, they had someone verified. No, they didn't. See, they lied. And they're lying to everyone. And then these people are so dumb. Like they said, those church people need to realize how dumb they look. And how actual dumb they look. Okay? They don't realize how dumb they look. When they had someone drug her up and tell her to say something, then somebody had verified they were in it with the drugging, then there was no crime committed. Except for them drugging somebody up. See, you have to have proof that a crime committed. See, that would be like me saying my husband Carl robbed the Bank of Arizona, shot 2 security guards, and somebody say, oh, I'll verify I knew of it. And then no bank was robbed, no security guards were shot. It's a made-up scenario. Huh? But worse, these people are saying they used hypnotic drugs and told me to say stuff, and I don't know who they are. I had real bruises throwing up and really infected. And they're violating people in their home, where Sheriff Bruce Lewinsky up there said there's people up there running scams on people. They're imposters. They're sending out emails in his name, other people's names, federal agents' names. Okay? And fake court orders. Fake everything. Okay? Trying to scam money out of people. These are some of them. And they're playing with United States citizens, and they're so dumb. They're going along with it. You act like they have no rights. And that there's not law in the book. It's a lawless society. Just like, if an attorney has a doctor with him, they're bad-mouthing somebody. It's a fraud scheme. You call the police, and the police are to call the FBI. There's a big fraud scheme right here. They think we're dumb. It's HIPAA. They're to be arrested immediately. It's a federal law. See, that's how dumb all this is. They don't know the law. None of them do. Just like, oh, they had special permission. Oh, this, oh, that. Oh, they already had a court order. No, they didn't. Dave hired 2 men on his own. I found out May 30th, 25. Looked up the case, said Dave hired 2 men on his own. One was saying it was an attorney, so it made it legal. No, it made it worse illegal. Of course it did. If an attorney sets up button cameras in your home, they are to be disbarred and criminally charged with FOIAs, cyberstalking, wiretapping, and felony evasion of privacy. Even the FBI cannot be in your home. They can't. They can't be in your home except for protected custody cases with statements in a court order. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. If they could be in drug lords' homes, oh, they would be in a heartbeat. Drug dealers, heartbeat. But they have rights of privacy over their home. President Nixon couldn't bug an office. He got impeached and almost went to jail for pardoning him. The President of the United States couldn't bug an office. It's the Fourth Amendment. So why would some psycho attorney running drug scams on people be allowed to? They wouldn't. See, that's where I was always told Agent John was supposed to be an act. To act on like these people, because they're Twilight Zone crazy crap. But if he honestly is this big of a criminal, the police better arrest him. Because this isn't funny on any level. Any level. I call for help. And these people are threatening to knife me in stores. I've already almost been kidnapped, almost carjacked. Followed and rented, attempted break-in that was foiled. Now they're threatening to knife me in stores. And they're telling them it's them trying to kill me. Telling people. I called the FBI hotline, crying my eyes out. And then they drugged me out for 3 days, keep me so drugged up I couldn't get up and answer the phone. And then I got the 3rd day, made myself get up and get enough air in my face, call one of my witnesses. They witnessed for me, take that card down with that agent's number, dropped it off at that person's work, go up to Apostolic Church of Barberton. He's up there telling people, that agent that was supposed to call me back, he knew I was being drugged, beaten, raped, and didn't care. Because of a 15-year-old lie of someone calling me a faker. And it was a medication error, medical malpractice, and fraud. Almost killed me. It took me 9 months to get one. And the next day on a recorded line, I'm crying my eyes out. I tell him someone told on me. Calls me a liar. I tell him about somebody threatened to knife me. His answer should have been, my God, honey, I'm glad you're all right. Where was it at? But you know what? I got you, liar. Do you know it's illegal for a police or an FBI agent, when you're giving your statement, for them to call you a liar? It's badgering. It's obstruction of justice and tampering with a witness. They were to find out who that guy was. And then scream about a camera above the bench. I don't know. You don't know if there was a camera above that bench. You better say you're lying or rush it. Tell him that he tried to kidnap me before. And he's like, oh, come on. Even if a church person seen him, they would never verify it. So I didn't tell him about Terry Coberly. Hmm? He said, I met with that family in my office, the ones that confessed on March 27, 25 to a federal agent. They made up the whole thing, that they were lying about everything to get away with this. They were helping out. Big liars. That March 20th, 26 in Walmart was tossed by the electronics. An investigator saying a federal agent, they had confessed to him, they made everything up. They were lying about everything. Never offended him. Those people and the church people that were in there lying, thinking the FBI is dumb, trying to prove how dumb they are. Those people, right? And how they knew they were trying to kill me? Because strangest lie called me a faker when it was medical malpractice, fraud, and medication errors. Almost killed me. It took me 9 months to get well. I said I really was sick before. You liar. Was there a camera above the bench or not? I don't know. You say you're lying or I'll arrest you. I'll put you in jail. I'll come up. Do you know they can't threaten to arrest you to say something? That's tampering with the witnesses. 20 years. They taped him bullying me. It's either an act or someone needs to arrest him. He's very dangerous. Because they were trying to prove how dumb our U.S. government is. And its people. You either say you're lying or arrest you, I'll put you in jail. I was like, fine, whatever. They sent that out to the police department, sweetie. Now I want you to say you're faking you were sick. It's documented medical malpractice, fraud, and medication errors almost killed me. Caused me to have heart attacks, seizures, thyroid, adrenal gland shutdown, and massive body swelling. After 6 to 10 surgeries, a bunch of my muscles clenched and went to the wrong doctors, and the crackpots almost killed me. If I had sued them, I'd be a multi-millionaire, and I'd still be in jail. Get the idea? I said and Strange called me a faker when he thought I was following Tim and Katie. It's a 15-year-old baby lie made up by an occult leader. I said I really was sick before. Oh, come on now. How he met with all the big liars in his office. They already know. They already know the FBI is involved. And they're trying to prove how dumb they are. Told you Strange hated the government. And they were all in there to get that agent on tape committing crimes so they could extort money from the government. Get the idea? They all were involved that walked in, trying to extort money from the government. Get one of their agents to commit crimes. Okay? In front of them. And tape them. You say you're vacant or I'll leave you there. But they've tried to kill me. So? They've tried to kill me. So? You say it or I'll leave you there. Please don't let them kill me. Then say it or I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, just don't let them kill me. He goes to jail for that. If it's not an act. It's a 20-year sentence. Give me a real reason why they've tried to kill me. So? And the other agent yells out, we could always use Pete's tapes of Weird With Yourself. I don't even know who Pete is. I still know. The only Pete I knew was my brother in Medina. I hadn't seen him in years. Spoke to him on the phone. But I don't know who he is. Found out it's just some guy Dave hired to run a drug scam on me. Just some guy. Dave hired him on his own to pull a drug scam. Because Strange headed the government, and the guy behind this wanted to prove how dumb the government would fall for it. U.S. government would fall for anything. And he also wanted to prove that the U.S. citizens would file for anything too. See, people should have been outraged. Outraged. And I said, what are you talking about? Because it's a shower scene in the other room. That's it. I'm washing yourself. They already confessed to that. March 1st to 3rd of 21, that they had put clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, then it's them. Then what you're describing is showering. Ha 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 ha. She figured out what they did. Get the idea. May 12th, 22 at noon. They found tapes of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon. An attorney ordered that shower scene to be photoshopped. On purpose to make her look weird. Minute framing me March 24th, 22, 1:30. July 25th, 26th, 24th or 25th. An investigator, they did a body ratio. It is a woman showering. But it's not even me. They put my head on her body. That's why nobody knew about it. Okay? I said, what are you talking about? I don't even know who. He said something else. Now I've never met him. Never talked to him. He's laughing at me. Stop. She don't know. Then he said, well, I bet you're going to say you don't know anything about the psychiatrist for sexual disorders of warning your brother. At that point, I almost yelled, why don't you stop lying? And I had to catch my breath. And I thought, well, there's some other lady who used my insurance, found out it was Dave's other, there was a girlfriend from before me, made him marry me. I found that out March 27th, 25, too. The federal agent got it out of Dave. So he could get a job at my factory, and that woman could have used my insurance. Back then, you didn't show ID. You can go in the hospital, doctor, have procedures. It's how other people used to have surgeries on other people's insurance that couldn't afford it. And until something would happen during the surgery, they wouldn't even know they operated on the wrong person. And people were getting away with identity fraud and insurance fraud like crazy. You never showed who you were. Didn't have to. People took you for your word. Okay? Well, half my medical records are that other lady right after we got married and my dad gave him a job. A heavy-set white brown woman was showing up at the factory. I confronted Dave. He called all them liars. They were just trying to break us up. Here it's him and his girlfriend. Even years later, a hospital, Altman actually, was arguing with them. And they said, well, you said you have 2 little girls. I have 3 boys. I told you some other woman's using my insurance. Well, your insurance says this. Yes. You're responsible for the copays. Click. It happened all the time. They attached his wages. We had to pay him. She went Harry Carey on my insurance. Half of my records are hers, and I thought, well, maybe it's one of hers. No, it's just a scam. HIPAA violations. No doctor could ever be with them. That is a federal crime. Doctors are sworn only to work for the patient, and everything you say and they do for you is confidential. They break that confidence. It costs them 10 years federal prison and loss of license. They show your medical records to someone without your signed consent and picture ID. It's 10 years. They could never be in it with people drug beating, raping you, trying to kill you, and trying to help them get away with it. My God. And no attorney could go to their doctor friend. They can't pull your medical records. It's 10 years for the doctor and the attorney. What they did to me was Twilight Zone. Thinking the FBI didn't know what happened was. See, that's where if an attorney and a doctor walk in together and say, I'm representing so-and-so, and I got this doctor, and they got her medical records. What are they supposed to do? Arrest them both. They're running a fraud scheme on somebody. Called the FBI. We got a fraud scheme here with breaking of HIPAA violations, and these are federal crimes. And prosecute them. Are doctors allowed to tape you unaware? Hell no. Hell no. That's another HIPAA violation. And then I found out it's supposed to be Henry Moffey, Dave's girlfriend's dad. Well, I don't know his real name, but that's what he was pretending to be. But it's just Katie's family member. They're just trying to prove how dumb the U.S. government is. They'll fall for anything. And it's people, it's just Dave's girlfriend's dad. That's it. About 2 weeks ago, I was in Alliance, walked out of Myers bathroom in Alliance. This lady on the phone, the guy that said he never met her in person was supposed to be the doctor from before. And he admitted he never met her in person, January 1926. It's just Dave's girlfriend's dad, the one that said he's pulling a fast one on the FBI. That guy. I said, I don't even know who you're talking about or what you're talking about. He starts laughing at me. Stop, she don't know. So what was he to do with all those people? He just confessed he knew they were legally monitoring me and framing me. Breaking HIPAA violations, thinking he's dumb. They confessed they were trying to kill me to a federal agent. What was he supposed to do? And for a ridiculous reason. Exactly. He was to arrest him for the confession of the crimes and the proof thereof. He said, and I said, I don't even know who you're talking about or what you're talking about. He's laughing at me. Stop, you don't know. March 27th, 25, they had got it out of a different Michelle, real pretty, that the doctor from before was not one of mine. He works for them, and they had lied. He was one of her doctors. She actually don't know who he is. And when they tried to kill me, they had bashed in my head, or leave me incompetent, it didn't work. And he had got it out of Dave that a girlfriend from before me made him marry me, so she'd have free insurance if he got when he got a job at my dad's factory, and he could give her extra money. And out of that family that was telling everybody, it offended them that Strange called her a faker, that they made everything up. It didn't even concern them. They were just helping out, so they get away with it. Get the idea of what's going on? Okay. Then what else did that agent say on the recorded line? I got a whole list of them admitting different places, different people, that the doctor from before was not one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. List of places and people announcing it in stores. Get the idea? It's HIPAA. They could never have a doctor with them. It's ridiculous. It's a federal crime. So if an attorney and a doctor comes and bad-mouthing somebody, what are they to do? Arrest him? Call the FBI? There's people in here breaking HIPAA violations. What are they to do? Call the medical board and the Bar Association. And their license are revoked immediately. These are federal crimes that will not be tolerated. And they're not to ever be broke. So then he's laughing, how, stop, she don't know. No, it's a scam being run on me. Of course I didn't know. Of people I never met. I want you to think about that. And that's where the guy doing this is proving how dumb the U.S. government is. And its people, they'll fall for anything. Okay? And he said, give me a real reason. Well, my brother-in-law, Craig, died working for the government. And he said, well, first of all, have you talked to any law enforcement about threats on your life? So the only two officers I talked to was August 8 of 18. We only have 3 cameras on the outside. We have nothing on the inside. One to the front yard, back, or front porch, back porch, and side yard. Nothing else. We don't have anything inside. There was a light in the security system at midnight. I called 911. Um, hmm? Two silly officers come out and they tell me that looks like an alien or a angry spirit and told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They didn't want bothered. You're kidding, right? I said, no. I said, matter of fact, I've never even had my neighbors in my home. I've only had family repair guys and those two silly officers. Is that what's going on? Do you know if Dave's cheating? I said, I've never caught him. Dave verified it. December 9th, 18, I taped him. I never caught him. So why is that funny? It's not. Hmm? Hmm? He said, I can take you somewhere and leave you with no money. I said, I don't have any money to start. He said, well, if you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, I can open an informant program. It comes with so much a month. I said, I can do that. He said, I'm loaning the money on the card. He said, you'll have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally dated against you again, and only for you would we ever do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened, and you can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. Admit to no wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you try to tell somebody, now he's already admitted they were all in his office. They already know. He was seen telling people. I called the FBI. Dave even told Danny. He talked to that agent when I walked off at that church. Oh, oh, oh. So why would I stay quiet when everybody already knows? Hmm? Do you know if an FBI agent tells a victim or informant they can't say anything, it is a federal crime of blackmail? It can. We'll get into the extortion thing. Blackmail and tampering with a witness and tampering with evidence. They can never tell you can't say anything. Ever. They can't even suggest it. It's blackmail. If you tell someone the FBI won't help you, and I'll tell people you're crazy, they can't threaten you under blackmail. And they can't tell you anybody that you don't get paid because you told the FBI was involved. What did they already say? They already knew they were in his office. He was already seen at that church telling. Oh, and what did he confess? They were illegally monitoring me and already knew. Oh. And that they were running a frame on me that I didn't know about. Do you know if an FBI agent tries to tell an informant they can't say anything and they won't get their money? Do you know that's blackmail? Do you know it's extortion from the U.S. government? Do you know it's considered a crime against the U.S. government because they are government funds meant for the informant? Oh. Do you know it's 20 to life in federal? Did you really want... Now, start thinking about this. How not funny this is. Can they say that... Do you know if an FBI agent says he don't care what happens to a victim or informant? Do you know they can go to jail 10 to 30 years? Do you know if they tell someone they can't help an informant? Do you know it's 10 to 30 years to life? Can even go into attempted murder? Oh. They can't do any of this. Get the idea. That FBI still owes me all that money. And if that agent took my money, they need to arrest him. This is not an ad where they said they're going after him to be arrested. They nailed him. They got him on a recorded line. I didn't get my money. He left me there. Do you know if an FBI agent turns you back over to someone harming you, you can go into attempted murder charges? That's how much he can't do any of this. and they can't be in my home. I've talked to a criminal attorney, a prosecutor's office, police. Not even the FBI can be in your home outside a protected custody case with statements. They can't get a court order. The law is if attorney sets up button cameras in your home, they are to be disbarred and criminally charged. Dave can't hire no one on his own, let alone to drug me and rape me. Hmm? But if you need help, my chief of police at Canton's my best friend. He always makes sure the Canton police protect you. That's where my friend Walter at the prosecutor's office said the only thing legal he did on that whole phone call was list you inform with money and immunity. You cannot withhold the money, you cannot misdirect it. They can't tell anybody they can't help you, and they can't bully you into false statements under threats. The police know they can't go along with none of that. And even like Officer Reinhardt in Louisville, and even the FBI go to jail for being in your home outside that protected custody case with statements in a court order. He had agreed to protect you and have statements from everyone that lives in that house, and have that court order, or they go to jail. It's felony invasion of privacy. A lot more. So I talked to a criminal attorney, prosecutor's office, police. These people can't do none of this, and neither can that agent. So when you think about how much they're playing you, Agent John, I have prayed for you because they're trying to get the surveillance of the case thrown out and all those drug dealers released. And I pray for the United States citizens and the children and the women that will die if they get released, because they're using the way it was just supposed to be an act to get the drug dealers. They're trying to put it that you are actually that big of a criminal. And you are defrauding people and going along with crimes, and that you took a bribe to allow people to die, then you do need to go to jail. 100%. Yesterday in the mall, and Officer John, someone needs to call up to the Fair Lawn Police. And some of the security guards were talking. An attorney with a doctor's already been around. Why did they tape him confessing to crimes and call the police? No attorney and no doctor could ever be together. It's HIPAA. Bad mouthing. Oh, they got someone to verify. Verify what? And no, they didn't. No, they didn't. It's a fraud scheme. Are they not have a common sense that no attorney and no doctor could be in it against someone? It is a federal crime of HIPAA. It would be a fraud scheme. They are to call the police. They are to arrest them, to call the FBI that these people are running fraud schemes of HIPAA on somebody. Well, they had them verify what? That they're part of, like they said, being part of drugging somebody up and tell them to say something, no crime committed. See, that's where those church people thought, like they said, they thought they could pull a fast one. Have somebody drug her up and tell her to say it, and then have someone say they'll verify it. And then they could get her arrested on a fast one, a roofing her. You have to prove a crime. What happened? You have to have doctor's reports, pictures of injuries, treatments for the injuries. You have to what? Police report, an investigation with physical evidence they did it, and a prosecution. So, what do you got? A roofie by somebody I've never met. Predators running scams on people. Get the idea? So, those security guards, where they're playing them for the fools they are. Oh, an attorney and a doctor said that they had someone tape her before and they verified it. What were they supposed to do? Call the police as people are running a fraud scheme. It's HIPAA. They could never be there, and no doctor could ever be with an attorney. It's a fraud scheme. Call the police and arrest them. Right? Right. Absolutely. And that girl off in the distance, and my mom, where I think the lady with the Louisville police, May 30th, 25, how she thought she could trick me out of a bunch of money. She found out I knew surveillance laws and she can't trick me out of a bunch of money. But she was setting Melissa and Dixie up to be arrested. It's like, leave the stupid girls alone. Oh, and the investigators, May 26, 25, Walmart 62, said the cartel said this whole thing is a scam from Bill from the Freemason, including the dirty doctor not being one of hers works for them and they had lied. He was one of her doctors. The whole thing's a scam. The officer gets out. The whole thing's a scam. They found the original case. It said her ex-husband hired 2 men on his own. One was saying he was an attorney, so it made it legal. No, it didn't. It made it worse illegal. Why? Because they know the law. And they would know it's fraud. And they would know HIPAA. See what I mean? So what does those security guards should have done? Called the police on him. What did the police do? Arrest him. Fraud, scheme, and HIPAA. It's a federal crime. Call the FBI. There's people up here committing federal crimes. Because I'll tell you what. What are they going to do when they go in there with their fake court orders? We got fake court orders to arrest those teenagers over there. Here's our undercover police. They're here to get them. Stay out of our way. Grab a bunch of kids out of the mall. Get the idea? They're setting up something up there because they're playing them for being stupid and not knowing the law. So, if an attorney shows up with a doctor, are they allowed to be together? Like they said, that no doctor could ever talk to them. That is a federal crime. So what are they to do? Call the police. The police are to arrest them. Call the FBI. Duh. 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 See, there's a point of duh. Get it? Duh. And that girl saying, I really didn't date Dave. Well, there was a Michelle that actually dated Dave, and yes, she did. Delano Eddie even confronted Dave. That minister thinks he's so funny bringing all those women up to your work, trying to get you to pick out one to date. Tempt him. Huh? I walked off. I come back. What is he talking about? You don't know what he's talking about, and I don't know why he would make up something. He wasn't making it up. Strange was trying to get him to cheat more on me. So he'd go along with this. Don't give me that shit. Found out my whole marriage was a scam. So don't give me that shit. And we're getting ready to take care of this. You ain't gonna do fucking shit. And then trying to say that they're in handicapped people's homes and the attorney goes around to guardians letting them set up buying cameras. You better not. You better be lying. Because what is the law of surveillance? Placing agencies only under a threat of life with statements in a corner for even open cameras in handicapped homes because they are wards of the state and there is a circuit court judge over them. A circuit court judge for them to be open cameras to be monitored. They have to sign off if they can sign off. Their guardian, their social worker, Department of Disability, the agency of the people that work there and all their crew, knowing they're being recorded in a home. It's a right to privacy. Anybody stays there. And then a circuit court judge could sign it. And it could only be done by the Department of Disability or the police. Oh, do you know how big a federal crime it is to exploit the handicap? No guardian could sign that because guess what? That guardian and you would be in jail for exploiting that client. and everyone could sue you for millions of dollars. See how not funny these people are, and I can guarantee, FBI, Officer Mark, Officer John, how many places of even other people's homes I've went into, even neighbors, said stuff in bathrooms, didn't have my phone with me, and they heard me. Made sure they let me know. There are more homes than you can imagine. Those people in this Judge Peters group going around bugging a bunch of people's homes, those are federal crimes. None of this is funny. You know, I'm going to have to wrap this up. You know, we took Carl to the VA today. We were talking to this one nurse, and we were telling him about his son, Rick. I said, why don't you call Adult Protective Services on him? They'll take care of him. I said, they threatened to call him on me. He started laughing. He said, they wouldn't do a thing to you. You're just trying to protect him. Exactly. Exactly. And you know what's sad? With them giving, and I'm going to put it this way, them giving counselors and psychiatrists bad names. You know how many people that actually need help, need counseling, need medication, because they can't deal with their problems for whatever reason? They won't go to them. Why? Because they're going to think they're like the scam. That they'll run around, try to use anything against them, try to extort money, destroy them. And the fear of actually getting help for people that need it, they won't seek it because of these people. And they're going to what? Prove that psychiatrists and counselors are nothing but con men and shysters that are out to destroy people that need help. And people are going to be afraid that actually need help and need someone to talk to. They won't seek it because they'll be afraid that they'll be in with somebody else to finish destroying them off. And they should not give people that represent mental health and helping people to live through the trauma that they can't deal with. That they won't seek help because the thought that they would destroy them further. And they are giving counselors and psychiatrists bad names, that they are untrustworthy and evil and will destroy you to steal from you, instead of there to help you get better. That's sad. And to put fear into people that actually need help. Now, I want you to think how disgusting these people are. You know, I walked around Dollar Tree today. I heard people saying, you know, they were trying to say her husband's incompetent because only someone incompetent want her. Fuck you. You know, I learned a long time ago not to feel. These people had me drugged, beat, raped, tortured. You ever been tortured? Skull bashed in. Human traffic, continually raped by other men under drugs. Wake up and a man would be attacking me, the whole room would go dark, and I'd wake up with bruises and infected. You ever been tortured and smothered and beat and drugged and you couldn't move? Say this, no, bah, 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 bah. And being raped and beat and smothered until you say whatever they say so you can breathe? You ever been tortured? And then they showed videos of it to children. To children. I used to smoke. Well, they laughed at me. It was the only thing that would stop me from vomiting. From the horror I lived through. And yet people mock me for it. I had to go on bladder spasm medicines and they'd mock me from being beat in my private area. I had to be on them for 2 years. I stutter now from the head injury. not to care and guard my heart and mind from people's ridicule and what they think of me or my life, and me being a survivor of living through that hell. I learned to live and to survive by guarding my heart and block it and not give a damn what people say, for it shows their ignorance, not mine. I learned to block my mind and my heart a long time ago and not give a damn what people say, and make no excuses. I've learned to live and to survive. And you know what? Where even investigators said she wouldn't even dream of ever going to a counselor and have them to even help her try to deal with what those people did, because these people made up that horrible scenario. She wouldn't even talk it out. No, I wouldn't. What would they do? Tell me they're sorry? They're sorry I lived through that? I'd scream at them. You're sorry. See, to me, there's nothing more that anybody could do than a cup of coffee or a Diet Coke and me venting to a friend. These videos are a nice outlet. And some investigators said, we know those videos help her deal with everything. I know they do. They sold the login to the case in the first month or two. Will sold the login for $25 a pop. Found a different way of making money on the case. I can go in different states and they have it. They're sending it out in emails. So does it matter what I say? No. Except for when I say something, like they said, when she puts it out there, what they're doing, how ridiculous it is. And how all the laws stop it and how dumb people are falling for the scam. But I'll tell you what, people, I learned to guard my heart, mind, and soul. I learned to survive. Nor do I need criticism, nor will I accept it from ignorant bastards that think they can mock somebody who's lived through hell. I have put up a guard around my mind, heart, and soul. And I don't even let you people make me feel anymore. Because it's so funny they raped her. It's so funny they tortured her. It's so funny. Do you realize how satanic you sound? And how evil you are, and I see you for who you are. I make no excuses for surviving. For this was not my fault, but your wrongdoing. My son John moved to Florida years ago. I found out last year, June 13th, 14th of 25, that somebody impersonating him. My son would never be with you. He would never have his mother drugged, beaten, raped, and drugged and framed, and be any part of it. And a fraud scheme. He would never be part of it. I found out last year they had June 13th, 14th of 25, people were on me were talking that they had somebody impersonate John. They had somebody impersonate Danny and Jen reporting the tape of Weird With Yourself, which is a shower scene. They knew nothing about it. They had somebody impersonate John or Josh. He knew nothing. They had somebody impersonate my mother. My mother lives in Illinois since 03. John's been in Florida for years. And like they said, what would you say? You're a part of drugging somebody up and saying something, and then that you want to be part of it, and you're going to go to jail? Because no crime was committed. And they already verified with the kids' pediatrician, actual real doctor over the children from 1984 to 2002, 18 years, that there was never any abuse. No No neglect. And they were very well taken care of. Seen them several times a year. And yes, you can tell somebody's being abused. If they look down, they look away. They will not make eye contact. Then they have physical injuries. They were normal, healthy children. Like Dr. Haven said, he would have reported it otherwise. And they were very, and I'll tell you what, they loved Dr. Haven. He was their doctor from birth, and they seen him every few months. And to go in and see him, it was like seeing a family friend of, hey, this, hey, that, and look him right in the eye and laugh and talk his ear off. Normal, happy, well-adjusted children. My children bragged all over me. They spoke very highly of me. Both the FBI and police have verified that. So where their little scam of having people impersonate people, trying to scam people into helping out, report them. They're just scams. And Agent John, I hope and pray you do what's right. I pray for you because they have you taped bullying me on the phone. They said they said that you took a bribe, and if they have you taped on the phone, then they have you taped taking a bribe. They want the surveillance thrown out. They want Judge Peters released and all the other drug dealers and human traffickers. Thousands could die. I pray that you do what the police said. You were just acting that way to get the drug dealers. And there's something about them. They think where they said they have you in their pocket, that's a lie too. Because the way they act, that you would rather let people die, let drug dealers out, and they could sue the government for millions of dollars, than where they said he either stands up for her case that it was legit and he was acting that way, and he pays her, or he's defrauding her the whole time and we got him. I pray for you. You know, I'd rather the FBI, and it cuts into my heart and stomach, that before they would make it right with me and be honest and legit, representing the laws of our country, not defrauding people out of money and turning people back over to people, trying to kill them and terrorize them while they got surveillance. And just abandon a person there. And then take payoffs and blackmail people and extort money from the government themselves, and that they're the worst white-collar criminals. That they would have said, we're sorry we put you through this. Here's your money and a letter, thank you. My God, honey, we're sorry. But we got all these people, there were so many of them. Some honest and good. And did it on their own. My God. You know how many children have said the FBI betrayed her? They sell the login. Go places. Talk about the case. Children. I would have rather you did it on your own, because it cuts into the heart worse. That they were only forced to help me and do what's right and legal because somebody was blackmailing God of heaven. It's sickening and disgusting. It's not that I wouldn't like to have my money, but on a better circumstance, an honest one. I pray for you, Agent John. And everybody, turn these people in.